Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. It's Scooby-Doo Tuesday, guys. You know what that means? Of course it means we're here continuing the journey of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. This is Season 2, Episode 21. We're getting closer and closer to that finale, getting closer to the end of the show. It really sucks. But anyways, this Episode 21 of Season 2, The Man in the Mirror. Interesting title. So last week's episode was okay overall, but the ending is pretty much what saved it in terms of a big reveal by Nova. Really wasn't Nova. It was... I think the individual said her name, but she took over Nova's body to like explain, essentially how Scooby-Doo can talk and Nibiru and all this kind of stuff. Like, because Scooby apparently is a descendant of aliens or something, or like, because there's certain like they made an explanation about how like this explains how certain animals can talk and can't. And the thing is too, no one even addresses the fact that Scooby can talk, and so like. But they gave an explanation to why Scooby can talk, because he's a descendant of these aliens that I think come from Nibiru or something. Like, I have to rewatch that scene, because I haven't actually rewatched it in a couple days. It's very interesting, and it's like, what in the hell is going on? But Scooby, like, of course, woke up from this vision, or this explanation from Nova, and said that this is that the end is coming and all this, like, this is bad. And also forewarning, do not open the sarcophagus, because that's the most evilest of evil or something within it. And you see the glowing eyes and like, so this is getting pretty serious. This is getting pretty crazy. I love the fact that there is this overarching story line throughout this show, because as we know with every other Scooby-Doo series, there isn't overarching mysteries. There isn't storylines that play out for long periods of time. There may be storylines that maybe do continue past an episode, but not to the level of what they're doing here with Mystery Inc. It's definitely very different here with Mystery Incorporated. So I'm excited to get in this episode, see what happens. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the show. It is unfortunate because I would love for more, obviously, than 2 seasons, but at least we do have these 2 seasons to really enjoy, because I'm really loving this show. I'm really loving what they've done with these characters, keeping it in that familiarity in terms of these characters, but also allowing for overarching narratives to keep happening and things to compound on top of each other in terms of storylines, characters, and everything. And so I'm really enjoying the journey, and it's unfortunate we're going to be ending pretty soon, but thankfully we still have a number of episodes to get through, so it's not like we're ending today, thankfully. So anyways, let's get into now, guys. So check out this episode. Let's go.
But the neighbors have been calling in constantly with reports of unearthly moaning, inhuman howling, blood-curdling screams.
We need to relocate the planispheric disk. We'll do it.
Relocate?
Good idea, Scoob. It looks like we've got another
Mystery on our hands. Oh, Fred.
Nice. That was cute.
We're such soulmates. We're finishing each other's sentences.
A mirror. What?
Yeah.
It's just you.
Look at those creepy eyes. It's me. Whew, that was close.
Oh my god. Does this mean that Fred's gonna be replaced by evil Fred?
The place wasn't haunted. What if he's hurt? Let's go back in and find him.
He was taken into a mirror.
Like, I'm sure Freddy's fine. And Scooby-Doo doing an impression of my mom using an old hat from the attic.
Oh, no. Eat all that broccoli.
Nothing scary here. So let's
His
get to
voice
school
is
before
different.
we're late. Punctuality is an important facet of learning.
His face.
Hey, what do you two think you're doing?
Having a little snack.
Crumbs lead to germs. Germs lead to sick days from work.
Can't they tell that's not him by his
Recommendations
voice?
in front of him.
Oh, it's opposite. Literally a mirrored versions of itself.
Gang?
Whoa.
Gang? Daphne? Huh?
Oh my god.
Oh, Fred is acting funny.
I mean, his
Like,
voice.
funny.
Come on,
Not funny
guys.
at all.
Freddie, is there anything bothering you?
Bothering me? Not at all, dear girlfriend.
This is weird. This is so strange. What's he listening to?
Does the dog need walking?
Canine Crumpet.
Is not a Scooby snack, Fred.
What difference does it make? I'm sure.
Oh, there she is. Velma. Shaggy.
Oh my god.
Scooby. They're Daphne's scarf. No, it can't
What the
be.
fuck happened
It
here?
can't be true.
What happened here?
Daphne!
Fred?
Cut it out, Mr. Truffles.
What? What?
It's not funny you imitating Daphne like that.
Where have you been?
Ah,
Oh, Freddie, I've been looking all over for this.
What is going on?
When you didn't come back, something went crazy with the planispheric disk. Velma said it created a vortex around Crystal Cove. Everyone aged quickly and one by one turned to dust until only I was left. The Firatorium Food Emporium. Shaggy and Scooby loved this place.
The Firatorium Food Emporium makes me like famished.
You're the one who hid it here. I don't understand why you don't know where it is.
Oh, you don't understand. Intellect isn't your strong suit, huh?
Oh,
What about
shit.
You? Got any smarts in?
This wasn't the last place I hid the disc. The trip through that mirror must have jaggled my memory. I would think you of all people would realize why this place would be so important to me, don't you, Daph?
Because we had our first date here, Freddy.
I meant the score to the baseball game.
Yeah, the game.
They are listening to on the theme.
Oh, wait a minute.
I
Wait.
knew that. It's not here. Get back in the van.
He's listening to Daphne on the other end, I bet.
The kennel has a
Yeah.
horrible hound.
This is all very bizarre.
You don't know the meaning of the word, child. I just
Child.
remembered where I actually hid the disc.
Gang, something is definitely wrong here. Education Board of Crystal Cove.
Fake. Fake Fred.
Fake Fred.
Ah, it's
I
good.
knew it.
And in the clutches of some hideous creature.
I guess.
Where
Well,
is it, Fred? Where is it?
that's not really
Take it
Daphne, I
easy,
don't think.
Daph.
Oh, they wake up at midnight? Oh.
The skeleton.
Damn, Fred. Kicking ass. Oh, shit. Yeah, you're surrounded. Run him over.
The old abandoned factory.
This isn't the way to the factory.
I'm willing to bet it is the way to the factory. The real factory. Fake. As fake as everything else in the old abandoned Crystal Cove movie studio.
What?
You said Jeepies. Daphne says Jeepers. Velma says Jinkies. Nobody says Jeepies. It could only be the old movie studio made to look like a ruined town, complete with animatronic skeletons.
Fan out. Search every inch of this place until we find that disc. The planispheric disc. I found it. I found it.
Okay, never mind.
Never mind, that's
Now that
bad.
you've got it.
I am taking the planispheric disc, and who's going to stop me? You? You? No!
Like Spider-Man.
Me!
Damn. Here we go. Here we go. Let's do it. Fred v. Fred.
Get in there and help Fred.
Which one?
Which one?
The good one. Be careful.
Oh, watch out.
Don't hurt him.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys. Guys. Damn. This is really going down. I didn't expect a long fight like this. They're fucking actually duking it out right now. Jesus.
I don't need to beat you.
Ooh.
I just need you to stay put.
Oh shit. There you go. You think that through, did you? Yeah, you're going up there too.
Get me out of this!
How do you feel about me?
What do you mean? You're my love, Daphne. I'm crazy about you.
I guess aside from traps and solving mysteries, my stomach's getting hurty.
Oh, Freddy.
Hurty.
It's you.
It's you.
You're one of the most heartless criminals Mystery Inc. has ever faced. Aren't you, Dad?
Oh!
It was the genius mind of Professor Pericles
Of
that
course
thought
it
up
was.
the whole plan.
Mr. E's being forced
That's
into
right,
it.
Fred.
Or is it so brilliant you cannot begin to fathom its true genius?
Professor Pericles? Fine. You win. Take it.
Excellent.
Oh my god, really?
Only now, Pericles has the planispheric.
Yeah, that's the problem. Wait, they created a machine?
Coming to set you free.
I was starting to suspect that it was Fred's parents who were actually being a version of Fred and older Daphne and everything with all this stuff going on. I started to think, I think it might be them, but I don't know, right? I don't know. Because at first I'm thinking, is this some sort of villain of the week or monster of the week, essentially through the mirror or whatever, or like a trick or whatever, like a magic trick, essentially to make it think like, ooh, it really is a mirror or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was starting to think at first. But then I'm like, well, Fred and fake Fred, are fighting it out and everything. I'm like, could this be Fred's dad? Maybe. And it actually was. And they cut plastic surgery over mask. I guess mask where I guess too simple. But then again, people have worn masks within Mystery Incorporated that are so authentic looking when they're like monsters or whatever, and it's a mask, and it's perfectly fine, right? So I guess like a mask of a real person is different. I don't know, but they got plastic surgery. Like, how does that work? So are they going to revert back to themselves when we see them again, or are they going to be stuck as older Daphne in a version of Fred, like a basically a duplicate of Fred? I don't know. I'm guessing they're going to be back to normal when we see them again. But the main thing we took away from this episode was that Pericles has the disc now. He has all the disc pieces all connected, and there's a device that he connected it to, and he said, I'm going to set you free. Like, he's all excited for that, and the machine is lighting up and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, okay, so I was waiting because I'm like, okay, we've had this happen before, but I'm thinking, what if the Planispheric disc that Fred's actual dad, found, what if it was a fake? What if it wasn't real? No, it actually is the real thing. I'm waiting for a reveal, like, oh, they got the fake disc pieces or whatever, or we gave them another fake. Turns out, no, they have the real ones. Like, this is bad. And I wasn't expecting for this kind of big moment to occur now. I was expecting maybe like 2 episodes remaining or 3 episodes remaining. No, we still have a couple episodes left to go, and they do this reveal now. But Fred made a decision that I think was the right decision, because Daphne was was grabbed by the robots. Of course, the robots just came out of nowhere, and the pacing of that scene was a little strange because she gets grabbed. Fred, no, fine, take instead of like no, Daphne, no. Instead of trying to prolong that scene, he's like, okay, here, just take it. It was really quick, but Fred made, of course, the right decision. But what was also kind of, I think, I don't know, annoying, they know Fred to a T, right? They know Fred. When he walks out of that house, the voice is different. Clearly, it's not Fred's voice. And the way he's responding to people, the way he's responding, and actually, I think one of the biggest things is actually calling out Shaggy and Scooby trying to eat a gigantic sandwiches they called snacks in the car. Crumbs, like, he was being a dad at that moment. He was being a father in that moment. Well, not really being a father, because he's not a father to Fred. He could try to be a father to Fred, but he's not. But that was definitely a dad moment for sure in a car in terms of eating in the car, which of course, that makes more sense now with the reveal of who actually was the fake Fred. But I think they should have found out sooner. But then when Fred led Daphne, well, older Daphne, obviously his mother, around and around and around to different locations, they were able to write them all down and then fake Fred. Like, that was pretty smart on Fred's part to do that, because he figured that this is clearly not real. And I like the flashback in terms of he looked at the skeleton and there's a name on the back and it's like a animatronic robotic thing or whatever. And he kind of figured, because with that little radio device, it now makes so much more sense. Now he's listening to, on the other end, his wife, older Daphne, because she's naming off the locations clear as day. And the thing is, too, they went through all the trouble. Well, Mr. E did. He went through all the trouble because he's being forced to recreate Crystal Cove in a dystopian future setting at this, like, old movie abandoned lot or whatever, where they shot movies, I guess. And they recreated Crystal Cove and everything. It was kind of crazy. Now, when they revealed that this is a dystopian future where everyone pretty much died and I'm the only one remaining and it's older Daphne, and because the Planispheric disc pieces weren't found or whatever, I'm like, this would be an interesting storyline, because I was like, oh, this is kind of crazy. But then, of course, as the episode kept continuing, it's clear that wasn't actually happening. I was thinking this would be an interesting kind of thing to where, what if we did jump into the future, or somebody did in this case, like Fred, where he finds out that something occurred and he's able to try to fix it or something, like a time jump type thing. Like, this would be interesting if this actually did occur, but clearly something else is going on here, right? Clearly. It's crazy. It's just crazy how they kind of figured it out in terms of like, oh, okay. I wonder how Fred, like, how soon Fred figured out who was who in terms of who was being his duplicate and who was being older Daphne. I don't know. But obviously he figured out older Daphne wasn't actually Daphne because of the way she jeepies or something. like I noticed that too, but it definitely was like, the fuck did she just say? But we just kept moving along. But he figured it out pretty fast. And then I like too how Daphne asked the two Freds, well, Fred, how do you feel about me? And then, of course, we had Fred's dad, Brad, go, well, you're my love. And I was like, you, Fred, the actual Fred. Well, I mean, besides tramps, it's like it's like my tummy hurty or something. It's like that's definitely Fred. That is, this like, oh, I love you, Daphne. Like, I think Fred does love Daphne. He just doesn't know how to express it because he's a guy and he's a very complicated individual. So, yeah, definitely an interesting episode because The Man in the Mirror, the title, it made me think this was going to go in a different direction than it was. But now, see, it kind of makes sense, right? Because last week's episode had a villain of the week, essentially, that didn't really matter to the overall narrative of Mystery Incorporated. It was just like a one-off thing. But, of course, the ending of the episode in terms of Scooby's origin, or at least in terms of explaining how he can talk, that's important to the overall narrative and explaining how he can talk. But it makes sense now. We're literally only we're a handful of episodes remaining, and it makes sense that we do an episode where, because I saw A Man in the Mirror, I'm like, okay, well, I guess we'll have another villain of the week or whatever. Maybe we'll have some continuing stuff going on to kind of build up to the finale of the series and the season, obviously. But no, it really was about a fake Fred who was really his father, and then his mother pretending to be an older Daphne, and the disc pieces, which ultimately Pericles gets at the end. It's bad. It's bad. It's not good. It's not good. But it definitely was intriguing to see how the rest of the gang started to figure out in terms of the locations, fake Fred, whatever, and of course, but Fred figuring out pretty much right away what's going on. But it was kind of crazy to see all these like skeletons and even the thing. It's like it's less it's less dystopian or less skeletons than normal or whatever in Crystal Cove. But he like pointed that out, like Crystal Cove is a crazy place, right? And they also they replicated the Mystery Machine, which he was able to fix, by the way, and drive around in a sense. It was kind of crazy how that worked out. But, yeah. Fred figured it out pretty much right away. We as the audience watching this episode for the first time, we're definitely in the dark in terms of, like, what the fuck is going on? Like is this really a dystopian future? Because they really played it up pretty well. The voice wasn't exact on older Daphne, but they could have easily explained it to where, this timeline could have, stressed her out or whatever, and she's obviously older. But obviously, I wish the gang would have maybe pointed out, hey, Fred, you sound a little different. Yeah, I think I'm getting a cough or something. I'm getting cold. Like, I wish they would have addressed the fact that his voice was not the same, but they didn't do that. It's the one thing I kind of wish they would have done, because Velma's very smart. And Shaggy and Scooby and Daphne would have figured it out clearly that something's up with Fred just based off of what he's saying. And they did. They started to kind of question everything. But I would have thought out of all of them, at least Velma would have addressed, hey, why is your voice different? Like, they all could have questioned that part because he sounds unique. Like, Fred's voice is very unique. And it's clear that's not Fred talking. I don't know. But then again, this is a show. And there's certain things that, they could address, but, I don't know. But I was quite surprised by what we were actually getting in this episode. But hey, I'm not complaining because I wasn't expecting the ending. Because like that's the beauty of this show. It subverts your expectations. I wasn't expecting for Professor Pericles, like for the old Mystery Inc., the now evil Mystery Inc., essentially, to get the disc pieces. And they're all all of them. Not just like one or two, like we've been fighting over the pieces, everything this whole season. He has the whole thing, and Pericles is attaching it to a device. So I don't know what the hell's going to happen next, but this is not good. I'm wondering if this be some sort of map locator or something. Maybe it's going to be a more high-tech version of what Velma was trying to build when she had the disc pieces connected to some sort of like record player kind of device. I'm assuming it's going to be something like that to where it's going to be used to try to find. But then again, look, we have a couple more. It's not like next week is the finale. So there has to be something that machine does that does not necessarily get them to the location of the treasure right away, because we're not at the finale yet. We're not to the conclusion or getting close to the conclusion. We still have a couple episodes left to go, because there's 26 episodes in total. This is 21. I think it's 21. Yeah. Anyway, it could, no, it's not 22. Anyways, you know what I'm saying. So we'll see what happens. But I really enjoyed this episode and the reveal and everything. I'm like, okay, this is getting kind of crazy, and the Freds are fighting it. Fighting it out, which was kind of fun to watch, the two Freds. He's fighting his son. It's messed up. And once again, they got plastic surgery. The fuck? Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this episode when you watched for the first time. Did you believe that it was a dystopian future? Like, were you thinking maybe for a second, could this be legit? Whatever thoughts you have, guys, I'm curious to know your thoughts about the ending, Professor Pericles getting the disc pieces, and everything else. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts about this episode, watching it for the first time. I'm curious to know how you guys responded to it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.